Before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Alien abductions, skinwalkers, a pure accident, or just a happy ending, all of those theories come into play with today's video. And if you want to know my opinion, wait till the end. So this is a story about a situation that happened actually last year on June 3rd of 2022. And it's the story of Ryker Webb, who was 3 years old and wandered off from the backyard where him and his father were allegedly hanging out and playing, and he was gone for days. And then he was found, and he looked very different and was wearing different clothes when he was found, but he was found. So that was the good news, right? He was found, he was fine, didn't look hurt or injured in any way, but it's pretty weird. So let me just tell you guys the whole story if you don't know it. Before we go any further, I did want to stop and thank today's sponsor, MeUndies. You guys, I know y'all have seen the hype all over the internet, and I am so glad that I got to try them out for myself. MeUndies creates feel-good loungewear, undergarments, activewear, swimwear, socks, and all different other kinds of things. The material on their products is next level soft and breathable. And MeUndies has something for everybody. The website is super easy to use. You will just go in there and figure out what style that you want, and then it'll pop up all the different types of patterns that you can get, and they have sizes ranging from extra small to 4XL. I have always wanted to wear the boy shorts, but I've never been able to find any that are actually comfortable. Every time I get them, the band will like cut into my side, or the front looks funky, or the back looks funky, but not with my MeUndies, you guys. These are so cute. And by the way, I typically steer very clear of these types of bands because they will dig into my skin, but not with these MeUndies. I don't know what they have done to this material, but it just lays very smoothly. They are so comfortable. Again, breathable, and MeUndies has a reputation of caring for their employees and using sustainable products. And not to mention, they have a problem-free philosophy, so if you are not satisfied with your first order of MeUndies, it will be on them. If you want to try MeUndies and give a Valentine's Day gift to a special someone and get 20% off plus free shipping, all you got to do is go to MeUndies.com/Christina Randall and you can save today. Yes, just go to MeUndies.com/Christina Randall and you can save today. Thanks again, MeUndies. So let's talk about Ryker. On June 3rd of 2022, which I am now realizing was the year before last because now we're in 2024, a 3-year-old boy named Ryker was playing outside of his home with the family dog in Troy, Montana. Now, according to the story, I'm gonna just lay the whole story out that's out there in the media, the way it's laid out, and we'll talk about some of the things at the end, okay? So according to the story, Ryker's father was actually outside with Ryker, but he needed to go inside just for a brief moment. Okay, so he's outside, 3-year-old Ryker, he needs to go inside for just a brief moment. Then at the same moment that Ryker's father went inside, Ryker decided that he wanted to go for a walk and he wandered off. Now, when Ryker's father came back outside, he realized that Ryker was gone. This is the moment that panic set in, a parent's worst fear, and it had literally just happened. Now, from what we can gather, Ryker's father began to go to the neighbors' houses and ask them if anybody had seen Ryker. And 2 hours after he had known to be missing, one of Ryker's neighbors ended up calling the cops to report him missing. So 2 hours later. The cops did not waste any time. They immediately set up a search for Ryker, and people from all over came to join and search and look for him. I mean, they were on four-wheelers, they had drones flying. I mean, they were really coming together as a community and as professionals to look for this 3-year-old that just wandered off out of the backyard. There were dozens of people that were searching the Bull Lake area, which was just south of Troy, where actually Ryker lived at. Again, the community and these professionals and these volunteers immediately came together, wasted no time busting out their equipment, their personal stuff like boats, but they were just having no luck, and they were really starting to get worried. See, on this day, the weather was not good at all. It was very stormy, and the temperature was getting down into the 40s. So now you got a 3-year-old little one who has wandered off, all these people looking for him, drones flying, people on four-wheelers, they're looking in the boats, they're seeing if he went into a lake, and now a storm rolls in, and it is a nasty storm, and it's freezing. It was also very concerning because the area that Ryker actually lived in had a lot of wildlife. I mean, there were many different sightings of mountain lions and bears. And the day just seemed to just go by in a flash and what felt like an instant. And it was the next day and there was still no sign of Ryker. So at this point, the Montana Air National Guard came in and they busted out the helicopters and even more drones, and they continued to search the area. They searched from morning to afternoon to dusk to night, but there was still no sign of Ryker. I can't imagine the thoughts that were going through this family's mind at this point. On the second day of the search, a miracle actually happened. Ryker was found 2.4 miles away from his home. A couple had actually come into town because they wanted to help search for Ryker. They had a cabin there in the woods that they would go and spend summers at sometimes. And so while they were there, they heard a strange whimpering sound that was coming from their shed where they kept their generator. When they went into the shed, they began to look around, and this is where they found Ryker laying in a lawnmower bag. They said that he was using this lawnmower bag like a sleeping bag. Obviously, this couple was absolutely stunned. I mean, they came there to go to their cabin to look for this little boy, and they go to check their shed, and he's curled up in their, lawnmower bag. So they were stunned, but Ryker seemed very happy to be found. Now, when the paramedics arrived to check Ryker's medical condition, they too were absolutely shocked. They said that Ryker seemed to be medically okay given the circumstances, but he definitely looked like he had just survived being lost in the wilderness. Some say he looked shell-shocked. Once the professionals did their full exam on him to make sure that he was okay and he was healthy and he wasn't seemingly hurt by an animal or possibly a person. I'm sure that they questioned him a lot. This is when they gave him back to his parents. After that, the police went to go give a statement, and they said that they were still looking into why Ryker had disappeared, why he wasn't being watched closely, but that they were very excited that Ryker was returned, thankfully, and that he was excited to be reunited with his parents.
First of all, how's he doing?
He's doing fine now. He's doing fine.
So Sheriff, how did he get 2.4 miles away?
So there's an extensive trail system behind his house, and he was used to playing in that trail system. So he just walked away from his house and went to the familiar place that he usually played in, is the trail system up toward the mountain. So one of the issues was we got the initial report about 4:53 in the afternoon, and he had been missing for possibly 2 hours or more at that time. And by the time our search and rescue volunteers and our deputies started searching for him, he was quite a distance away. We started from the house, the point last seen, and started fanning out from there. And by the time we got to where he might have been, he had quite a lead on us. I asked him if he been on a walk, and he said yes. And I said, was it a long walk? And his voice changed a little bit, and he said yes. And I said, were you alone? Yes. And I said, were you very tired? He said, very tired. And I truly believe that he walked that entire distance Friday afternoon before the thunderstorms hit. I truly feel that once the rain started to hit and the thunderstorms started to hit, Ryker was smart enough, even as a 3-year-old, to take cover in that shed. And I truly believe that he took cover in that shed from Friday evening until he was found on Sunday.
Now, the internet, of course, has come up with their own theories and conclusions about what they think happened or could have happened. And I don't blame them, okay? I don't blame them. So that so far is the story that was out there that happened. The interesting thing is, like, the picture that seemingly was going around about him being missing was like this one where he was like about 1 year old. And then this is the one where they found him, which looked stunned, which he was 3 and he was lost for 2 days, by himself. So I would imagine him looking stunned, but I also found it weird that that was the photo that the person took to, I don't know. I have questions about that, but not everybody looks at a photo and goes, oh, but then again, maybe that was the expression on his face the whole time. Now, before I show y'all the video that is allegedly Ryker, like a year later, allegedly his brother is on TikTok. I'm saying allegedly because I can't confirm. I don't know these people personally, but it looks like it is a really great possibility that it was filmed by his brother. And it was him asking Ryker what happened at 4 years old. Before we get into that, there's just a couple things I have to say. I find a lot of things strange right off the bat. The first thing that I find strange is that the clothing that Ryker was wearing when he was found, this like one piece, was not what he was described to be missing in. So there's a lot of talk online about him being missing for 2 days, but wearing something completely different when he was found. Some people believe that the reason why what he was wearing when he was found was different than what he was wearing when he went missing was because maybe the parents in a panic didn't remember what he was wearing. But I don't know, that seems weird because a 3-year-old, you're getting them dressed. But also the fact that he was missing for 2 hours and a neighbor called the cops, which seems weird to me. Like, he's 3, 2 at that. 2 hours? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine even your older child, if you're in the backyard and they disappear for 2 hours, even if they're older, like you're just out there hanging out and poof, they're gone. You don't hear from them or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That seems very strange. Something seems weird about that. Now, there's a bunch of theories that have gone around. I'm just going to name a few of them because he has been found and he's healthy, so it's a happy ending. But there are people that obviously think that he could have been abducted by aliens. And I did look online, and there are some reported abductions in Montana. I don't know, though. There are people that believe that it's a government cover-up. There are people that believe he's a skinwalker. I'm not going to go that far. What do I think? Let me show y'all the video that his brother allegedly posted of him on TikTok.
Keep asking about what happened. Ryker, do you remember when you got lost?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
I see a house.
A house?
Woods.
In the woods?
Yeah. So I can live in there and then I can live in,
Someone lived in the house?
yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. That was scary. You okay though now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
There's a lot of people that believe there is no way that this 3-year-old little one walked 2.5 miles in the freezing cold, in a storm, by himself, did not get seen by anybody. The parents just happened to be out. The dad was outside, just blipped for a second, went inside for just a second, came back out. He was completely gone. And he survived this or whatever. Some people think that he was picked up by somebody, which I don't know. I don't think I believe that one, which I'm so glad that he was found because the Summer Wells case still bothers me to this day. If y'all don't know about the Summer Wells case, look into it. And I have videos about it here on my channel. She has still never been found to this day, and she disappeared from her yard as well. So her family says. But again, there's people that believe that this is not even actually Ryker because he wasn't even wearing the same exact clothes and that look that he had on his face. So what do I think? I think something funny has gone on with the parents. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the dad did. I don't know, was he passed out? Did he have a little bit too much to drink? Did he pop one too many? You know what I mean? Something. And he was sleeping hard. And that baby left out of that house because that was pajamas that he was in. And when he woke up, he didn't really know how long he'd been gone. That's what I think. I don't know. This is alleged. I also believe that's why they didn't call the cops immediately, because he didn't really know. And he was hoping to find him at a neighbor's house or somewhere else. I also think that that's probably why they haven't come out to the public, because you better believe, I just can't imagine. I cannot imagine. And I think that there's a chance that he just kept walking and found that shed maybe before the storm and was in there hiding and was completely shocked and scared. There's a million other things. To be honest with you guys, there are things that people can put over somebody's mouth on a rag and make them pass out and take them and then drop them off somewhere. Like that. I don't know. Is that a possibility too? I don't know. But I think it's highly more likely that something went on with the parents, whether they were sleeping, not there, or something like that. And he was gone even longer than they thought. And they didn't even really know what he was wearing. Because that all to me is weird. And a 3-year-old, it's going to take you 2 hours and the neighbor has to call the police. Seems weird to me. But thankfully, Ryker is at home and he's safe. And for those of y'all that believe he's not Ryker, well, there's a version of Ryker at home and he's safe. What do you guys think? Have y'all heard about this? Love you guys. Let me know what y'all think. Thank y'all for watching and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.